All right, good morning, or actually good afternoon, Sunday afternoon, everybody. Steve and I are headed to one of our booths. We have two booths. One is at Antiques at Gresham Lake in North Raleigh, and one is at Collected Treasures in Garner. So every weekend, because we both have full-time jobs, every weekend we head to the booths and bring in all the fresh goodies, all the fresh treasures that we have found throughout the week. So we're going to try to get a little footage of what it's like to go in and restock the booth. Okay, we are here at Antiques at Gresham Lake, and we're going to start bringing the goodies in, freshen up the booth. Antiques at Gresham Lake, up on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. There's the address. Can you get back? Hello. Hey Liz. Hey Linda. How are you doing?
Fine. Good. Good.
So here is our corner of the world, and this is what we might walk into. Booth might be a little mess sometimes, but that's just what happens. That's okay, because we encourage people to dig and hunt in the booth, because that's half the fun, I think, is treasure hunting. So I'm gonna bring in some things and start unpacking it and freshen it up. Okay, looks like we've got an empty spot there we need to fill. Absolutely have a bunch of straightening up to do. And I'll try not to move the camera around so fast and make everybody dizzy. But yeah, definitely lots of straightening up to do. Looks like people have been looking at the blankets. And I'm going to come around the other side. Here's the great bench that Steve made, the UNC bench. This is our outside wall. Doesn't look too bad out here. I just got to straighten up. But we will get it done, because that's what we do. Got this bin here full of stuff, and I'm just going to bring it around, and we'll just unload it all onto the bench for now, and then we'll start finding places to place it. These are all the fresh treasures coming in. As you can see, I bring in a lot of plush, and I do that for the kids who are shopping with their parents, for grandparents to buy things for their grandchildren, and you know what, for adults too, because we all need something to make us smile once in a while. We'll get it all unloaded. We always have a lot of baskets in our booth, so you're always going to find baskets. These are like risers that we'll use to elevate some of the product that's in the back. We only brought one bin today. A lot of times we're bringing in 2 to 3 bins, but typically when we come in, we try to at least bring in about 50 items. If we're flipping the booth to a different season, we'll probably bring in 125 to 200 items at that time and pull a lot out from the previous season. But okay, that's all unpacked. All right, time to get to work. Okay, so this is something that we have in our booth. There's a lot of vintage purses or clutches, and they're kind of on the floor here right now. Looks like somebody's been looking through them, so I'm gonna, I don't know, stick this basket in here. It's a little dark down here, but I found that, you know, there are certain people that really like to hunt like us, and they will find the treasures. And like I said, that's half the fun is digging and finding the treasures. So I'm going to put all these really pretty beaded ones in there. And then I have the leather ones here, a little compact. One of the other things I found works really well is when you have a multi-tier shelving unit like this. You know, eye level is kind of where everybody looks. So when you're bringing something new in, it's probably best to put it on your eye level shelves and then move down items. Sometimes it doesn't always work out perfect that way, but I do have some empty spot up in here. So I'm actually going to move some of this that's down here up, because this is just a beautiful vase. And I think it deserves some highlight up here. So I'm going to bring some of that up. This piece right here is another gorgeous piece that I'd love to see somebody find a home for it. It's actually from Israel. It's a really pretty piece. I put one of those little elevation pieces right there to elevate that amber piece. Okay, we have finished fluffing the booth. Oh, except for this little piece here. Where should we place it? Find a home for it. Sometimes you just gotta jockey things around until you can find just the right place to put something. And so now I have this little cup. I gotta find a home for it, and I'm just gonna set it over here. Try to always think about the shopper when you're setting up your booth. I came in, I noticed that this was we have all the scarves was kind of like cockeyed. I could see that somebody had really been digging in there, and I noticed that all the price tags were on the back side. So I flipped it all around so they can get to all the price tags even though they're hanging down. Our booth is always very crowded, but like I said, it's kind of on purpose because we want people to have fun hunting for their treasure. So I've put up a picture there. One of our customers was in shopping, and she said, oh, I need to go look at a necklace, you know, in a mirror. So we had this mirror actually over here, and I said, that's a great idea. I'll move the mirror over to here so that people can look at themselves in the mirror. So that was kind of the lesson for me today. Brought this pretty piece in from the 1940s. It's got a lot of paint loss, but that's why we're called the weathered fence posts, because a lot of the stuff that we bring in might be weathered. Redid that, raised up some of the pictures there, gave it some height. Redid this section here. This is a new piece, so this is more eye level. So anyway, try to bring in a little bit of holiday, not overwhelming this booth with holiday, trying to keep the treasures the main focus. Look at this great piece. I love this chafing dish. It's got such great lines. It's a beautiful lacquered dish with mother of pearl inlay. Real pretty. These blankets, Canta blankets, they're great. They're beautiful. Brought in this great vintage jacket. I love the buttons on it. Here's a beautiful antique piece that we picked up yesterday. I think you saw that if you watched our video from yesterday on YouTube. That picture's on there. It's a gorgeous piece. It's an antique painting. And brought in this lady. Porcelain and textile piece. I'm not sure if this is Russian or if this is Asian. I am not sure. Japanese? I'm not sure. Didn't have a marking on it, so I wasn't familiar with it. Lots of pottery. You're always going to see a lot of artisan pieces in our booth. And there's a smiley face, because we all need something to smile about. But anyway, it's all freshened up, ready for another week of shopping. And we'll be back next week with more. Okay, so that wraps up our trip up to the booth. We're back home. It was about 2.5 hours round trip up and back. Now just bring in the empty bin, put another 30 items in the booth, which is always nice fresh items. But yeah, that booth is about 30 minutes away, so it takes about an hour round trip. And we were up there for about an hour and a half visiting with some customers and them and freshen up the booth. Now it's Sunday night and I get to mow the lawn because it is supposed to rain all week. I think they're saying possibility of rain. So now I get to mow the lawn, and then we're going to cook some burgers, hang out for the rest of the beautiful day that it is. Look at the sky, it's just gorgeous out. And call it a weekend. Get back up tomorrow and start it all over again. And that's it for Sunday night. The weekend went fast. At any rate, everybody, hope you had a great weekend, and as Steve and I always say, happy hunting. Oh yeah, one last thing is that whenever we get home, we get to be greeted by Madison. She's our kitty. Hey, Maddie girl. How are you? Did you have a good day while we were gone? Oh no, she's biting me. She doesn't usually bite. She's a sweet girl. Okay.